So, a very good afternoon to all of you. As we have discussed in the last class that what is a time series analysis and how one can find it. And for finding, or we can say the time series analysis method, there are total 4 methods. And out of these 4 methods, we have discussed 3. And if I see that which one we have discussed, we have talked about the graphical method, semi-average method, moving average method. So these are the 3 methods that we have discussed till now. I hope you understand it. Now we are moving for the method of least square. Method of least square. So before moving to the method, I am going to give you some idea that what we have already discussed. Like what we mean by time series analysis. Like suppose that a data is given and on the different time period. Okay, so on that basis, we are trying to make a time series, try to analyze it. Why? What is the need to analyze it? To predict the future on some point of the time, or suppose that I am having the data, let it be in the year of 2001, then 2005, then 10, then 15 and 20 and so on. Now, suppose that I am interested to know that what will be the output in the year 2003. So it is not given in the data, but if I analyze this time series by the trend analysis methods, then I can say that what will be the output in the year 2003. The output may be anything. It may be related to the production. It may be the forecast of the population. Like many times you hear the term like in 2030 or 2040, the population of India is this much. So how they are analyze it? It is based on the time series analysis on the basis of the time series trend analysis. Okay, so these are its application. Like so a data will be given to us. Like if I am talking about time, let t is the time and yt is corresponding value. So it may be like on some point of time, this is given to us. And now we are interested to find out that what will be the future values of it, or like some values inside the interval or in the past values. Okay, so this is what we are having. Now sometime it is will also be written like x and y. Like generally we write y equals to fx as a function of x. Y is a function of x, or we can write as y as function of t. If I am talking about time, it may be in place of time we are having some other variables, so that doesn't matter. The method is same for all. So now let us try to see that what is method of least square and how it works. Now, students, suppose that there is a data which is given to us and it look like, let me change the color. Suppose that a data, I am taking example in terms of x and y. Okay. So suppose that there are some input x and some output y. So a data is given to us. Now, what we are going to do, let us try to draw that data in x and y coordinate system. So suppose this is x, this is y, and when I'm putting the value x1, I will obtain the value as, let it be y1, or better to say xi to yi. That is, when I giving the input as xi, I am getting the output as yi. So x1 gives me y1. Then let us take x2, and suppose that x2 gives you some y2, x3 gives you some other value, let it be y3, and then x4 gives you some other value, let it be y4, and so on. That is, the nature of the curve is look like this. Okay, this is the given data, but this is not the trend line. Now, what is trend line? If I draw a best approximation to these points, like suppose that a trend line for this data may look like this. A trend line for this data may look like this. This is what a rough trend line I just draw. But if you see this, the actual value is at x1 is y1, but according to this, it will be somewhat over here. Like if I draw this point or just join them. So this is what according to the trend line and up to y1, it is the actual data. So like trend line gives the most expected value on an input. It's not exactly the correct. It is the approximation. Try to fix this in your mind. So this is what, if I am talking for the first one, let us this distance, I am taking f of x1, and this is what, the whole is y1. So when I draw this trend line in the first step, I got some error. And how much it will be? If I am taking this point, let it be P1, this point, let it be Q1, this point, let it be M1. So how much error it is having? The original is what? P1, M1. The original is what? P1, M1 minus what should I do? P1, Q1. So this is the error in the first step. And this in the same way in the second one, actual value is by 2, but the trend line gives me somewhere over here. The same for the third one. Actual is y3, but the trend line gives me somewhere over here. So in each step, there are some errors. When I roughly draw this trend line, there are some errors, and now I'm going to minimize those errors. Means what? I'm going to fit a trend line such that this error is minimum. Once again, repeating what we are going to do like in each step, we are having some errors. Now, I want to fit a curve. It may be straight line, it may be a parabola, or it may be a curve of any degree that is having minimum possible error. Okay, so like if I'm saying this is the even error in the first step. So P1 M1, what I considered, I am considering it as Y1, and P1 Q1 is f of x1. So this is how much error I am having in the first step. What is y1 here? Y1 is the actual value. And what is f of x1? It is what? The value that we are fitted in the curve. The value that we are fitted in the curve. The value that we are going to fit it in the curve. Okay. Or we can say this is what experimental, observed and actual. This is actual, this is observed from the trend line. In the same manner, we can find error in the E2 step. So in the error E2 step will comes out as what? Y2 minus f of x2. One more thing you can see, in the first step, the error is positive. In the second step, error is negative. That is, whenever the actual curve is below trend line, whenever the actual curve is below trend line, the error will be negative, and on the other hand, error will be positive. So now to make them uniform, I am going to do the square of all the errors, E1 square, E2 square, and so on. And let us suppose this S. So what is S over here? S is the sum of squares of the error. And now we are going to minimize it. Minimize means we need to make it least as much as possible. So our main task is what? To minimize this error, which is E1 square plus E2 square and so on. Our main aim to minimize this error with the condition that this curve is best fitted. Since it is a straight line, so what is the form of this curve? It will be like y is equals to a plus bx, where a is the intercept, and b is the slope of this line. Okay, so now if I got somewhat the value of A and B, I will put it over here and will get the trend line, or we can say the best fit for the given curve. I hope you understood up to here. So now the question is that how to find A and B. A and B are such that this S must be minimum. So if I'm writing this as E1 square will be how much? Y1 minus f of x1 square. The same manner y2 minus f of x2 square, and summation. So I'm just making it generalize that fi minus f of xi whole square is the square of sum of the errors. Okay, now what is f of xi? So let us replace it. So this will be yi minus the standard curve that we are having is what? Y equal to a plus bx. The curve that we are having is what? Y, and y is what? F of x. It is about a plus bx. So put it over here. A minus b of xi square. So this is the function that we need to minimize. Now there are many methods for maxima minima. We can use any of them. There are many methods for maxima and minima. We can use any of them. Why we are doing this? To find the value of A and B. So let us see. The S, the value of S that we are having is what? Y equals Y minus A minus BX whole square. Why I remove I from here? I just make the generalized result. Okay. Or if you want, you can put it over here. No problem from. Summation is on I. Now we have to minimize it. We have to minimize it on the basis of A and B. So I'm using the derivative rule for minimum function. So according to this rule, the function will be minima at a point, and the point will be obtained by what? Putting the first derivative equal to 0. So what will be del S over del A? So 2 into summation yi minus A minus bxi whole square into minus of 1 equated to 0. We will get the first equation. So how much I will get? It will comes out as summation yi minus A minus b of xi equals to 0. Now distribute the summation. So summation of yi equals to summation of A plus summation of bxi. Summation of yi, that is this thing, equals to, now we are doing summation of A n times. So A plus A up to n time gives you n into A. Constant comes out, and this is what we are getting the first equation. This is known as the first equation that will be used for finding the values of A and B. That will be used for finding the value of A and B. Now, in the same manner, we can differentiate first with respect to B. So if we differentiate first with respect to B, we will obtain del S over del V is equals to 2 into summation yi minus A minus bxi into, with respect to B, so minus of xi equated 0. So what we will obtain? Summation yi minus A minus bxi into minus of xi equal to 0. Minus we can cancel it out and make it equal to minus of 0. So that will be neglected. Multiply xi. So summation xi into yi equals to summation A of xi plus summation b of xi square. We can simplify it further. So it will obtain as xi minus yi A can be comes out from the summation. So A times xi plus B times xi square. This is the second equation. Now, as I told you initially, now the rest part you can do cross check. Like on these 2 points, the function will be minima. Now, as I told you initially that in the given curve, we are supposed to put equation of the form y equals to a plus bx. So A and B is needed, and A and B is obtained from these two equations, like equation number 2 and equation number 3. So these two equations are known as the normal equations. So what are the normal equations? In order to fit a curve of the form y equals to a plus bx, the normal equations that we have just obtained is what? Summation of yi equals to n times a plus b into summation of xi, second equation. Summation of xi into yi equals to a into summation of xi plus b into summation of xi square. So these two equations are known as normal equation. So now we have to solve normal equation to find what? To find the value of a and b and put them in our trend line. So the required equation will be obtained. Okay. So what required equation will be obtained? Now you can give x any input and you will get the output as y. This is known as the method of least square for fitting a straight line. But sometimes, students, what happens in place of a straight line, we need to fit a second order equation, or we can say a parabola. Okay, that will also, we will take that how that can be done. But before that, now if I need to fit a trend line, which is a straight line in a nature, we need to solve these two equations. So now there are many things like yi. So what is yi over here? Yi is what? The sum of all y entries. What is n? The number of observation. What is sigma summation of xi? The sum of inputs xi into yi. First do their individual product and then add them. Summation xi already discussed. Xi square. So whatever xi is given to us, do that square and put it in these two equations. We will obtain the two equations and then simply solve both the equation to find out the value of a and b, and then put them in equation number 1. We will obtain the required trend line, or we can say the best fit line according to the given data. I hope you understand it. Now let us take some examples on it. One more point that I should tell you, sometimes students, what happen, the data value is so large. The data value is so large, like if suppose that I have taken an example, suppose this is y value, this is we are having x value and this is y value, and suppose that they are too large in the magnitude. Like if I am taking an example, the production of wheat in a year 2001, then in a year 2002, then in the year 2003 and 2004, 2005. Suppose that production is metric ton, let it be 1000, let it be 1100, let it be 1300, 1700, 1500, and so on. So now the first entry is what? Xi entries. Second is Yi entry. So if you see, if I need to do this second equation, Xi into Yi, so 2001 into 1000, this entry will become too large in the date magnitude. The calculation is also too large, too big calculation. So what we will do, we know a result that when we are fitting the trend line and the data is too large in the nature, we can change the scale and change the origin also. It doesn't affect the trend line. What I mean by change of scale and change of origin, in place of x and b, we will define two new variable u and v. And suppose that what is u? It is x minus any x0 upon some h, and b, let it be y minus y0 upon some k. X0 may be anything, Y0 may be anything, H and K is also some anything. So the central value is 2003. Generally, we subtract the central value. So if I make U and V, the first entry will be -2 only. Second will be -1. Third will be 0. That what the data will be look like? In that case, the data will look like that. In place of x and y, we will make it as u and v. So -2, -1, 0, 1, 2. In the same manner, the second one, we can take 1300 as the center one. It will be what? -300, -200. So -300. Moreover, we can take k as 100 to reduce the calculation. So the first entry will be only -3. Then -1, then 0. This will be how much? 4. And this will be how much? 5. Now you can see your entry becomes too easy. Your entries becomes too easy, so that the calculation will also becomes easy. Getting? So we are having a law which says that this trend line will not affected by change of scale as well as change of origin. Like we are shifted origin, changing scale by dividing some number h and k. This h and k you will decide by yourself by using your common sense. Get it? And it is generally used when your data is too large. If it is normal data, no need to do it. Clear? Let us take one example. This is the example. And what the example is saying below, let us try to see this example, what they are saying. Below are given the figure of production of sugar in a factory in 2001, in 2002, 3, 4, 6, 7. Their production is also given. Yes, it is given to us. So this is the production. So we have to fit a straight line, a straight trend line for these figures. Also plot these figures on the graph for more clarity. So now you can see this is your X, this is your Y. So what I did, I just take a capital X because X quantity is large. So what can I do? I can do capital X is small x minus, generally the center value is subtracted, so 2004. So 2004 minus 2001. So this will be -3, -2, 1, 0, and so on. Now, y is the average kind of value. So if you want, you can reduce it, or don't want, leave it as it is. So this is y as it is, making what? Xy, then x square, x, xy, x square. Okay, and this is what yc they are directly calculating. YC they are directly calculating. If you see the trend line, what I needed, just see the trend line. So I need sum of yi Sum of yi means this is yc. They are talking it as yc. Okay, they are making the function like yc equals to a plus b into x. So all the required data is obtained, whatever needed in the question. Now all the data will be fitted in both the normal equation. And we are supposed to solve those two equations to get the value of a and b. So a comes as 90 and b comes as 2. So what will be your trend line? Y equals to a plus bx, or yc they are using by calculated. So this is your trend line. Now suppose that I'm interested that what will be the production in the year 2020. So simply put x equal to 2020. What we will get? It will be 90 into 40. So this will be 40 into 49. So this much will be the production according to this trend line, and this will be the best approximation. Okay, it may be some plus minuses there, but almost 49 will be the production. Let us try to understand them on the graph. So this is what the actual data, the curved line, and this is the second one we are having, trend line, and they are approximating or minimizing the error. I hope you understand this example. This graph is very much important to understand. So these are some more examples, like first example, find the trend line for the following curve. X and y is given. So what the normal equation? Write the normal equation first. So, and then we will proceed. So let us try to solve this equation. The data is given to us is what? X is given to us. So let us make it. X is there, y is there. What are the normal equation? First one is what? Summation y equals to na plus b into summation x. The second line is what? Summation xy a into summation x plus b into summation of x square. So what I need? Summation y obtained from the second column, n already given, summation x from the first one, summation xy. So make a column which is x into y, make a column which is x square. So these are the four columns that we needed. Put x and y. So x is 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Y 3, 7, 13, 21. 3, 7, 13, 21. Since the data is small in the nature, so no need to change the scale or no need to shift the origin. XY, so 3 into 1, 3, 14, 39, 21 into 4, 84. Now x square, so this will be 9. X square, that is we are doing the square of x values. So x value means the first one. So this will be 1, 4, 9, 60. Now I need to do the summation. So the first column gives you summation of x. Second will be summation of y. Third will be summation of xy. And the last will be summation of x square. So do the summation. The first one will be 3, 3, 6, 4, 10. This will be 3, 7, 10, 10 and 13, 23, 24, that is 44. And if I do the summation of xy column, so how much it will be? It is what? 3 plus 14 plus 39 plus 84. So this gives you 140. Summation of x square will be 4, 1, 5, 5 and 9, 14, that is 16, 30. Now put them in these equations. So first equation, summation y. So 44 What is n? The number of data. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 times a plus summation of x is 10. 10 times b. Equation number 2. Summation xy is 140. A into summation of x. So 10 times a plus b into summation of x square. So 30 times b. So these are the two equations that we have obtained. Now what next? Solve them to get the value of a and b. Once you obtained a and b, put in the trend line y is equal to a plus bx. This will be your trend line, or better to say the straight line, which tells you about the trend of the data. Trend means what? We can come to know whether the trend is uptrend or low trend or neutral kind of things. So this is how, students, we can fit a straight line or a curve in a given data by using method of least square. I hope it's clear to you. Moving ahead. Second example, I leave to you. We will try to solve it. Moving ahead, another thing, like sometime what happen, in a question, we need to fit a second order equation, better to say quadratic or parabola equation. So the standard form of a quadratic equation is y equals to a plus bx plus cx square. The second order equation where a, b, c are the constant that we need to find. Like in straight line, a and b only we need to find, but in quadratic, 3 a, b, c, 3 constant is there to find. Normal equation can obtain directly by the same procedure that we have done for a straight line. And what the normal equation you have obtained, let us see. I'm going to give you a shortcut to find the normal equation directly. So what the first normal equation? Put the sigma in the given equation. So sigma y, n into a, b into sigma x plus c into sigma x square. This is the first normal equation. Now multiply by the independent variable x. So summation xy, a into summation x plus b into summation of x square plus c into summation of x cube. This is the second normal equation. Since there are 3 constants, so we need 3 normal equation. One more time multiply by x. So x square y is a into summation x square plus b into summation x cube plus c into summation x to the power 4. So these are the 3 normal equations. Find whatever they needed and then solve them to find the value of a, b, c. That is, now solve these equations and to find the value of a, b, and c. For the required curve, put them in first. For required trend line, put them in equation number first. Okay, so this is how, students, we can fit a curve, or better to say a trend line, in a given data. I hope you understand the concept. So now there are some advantages as well as disadvantages for this methods. As we have know that every method is having some pros and some cons, or we can say advantage and disadvantage. The first one is what? This is a mathematical method measuring trend line, so there is no possibility of subjectiveness. That is, everyone who used this method will get same trend line. If you remember, in the graphical method, it's not the same case. in graphical method, the trend line is varying from person to person. But if someone is using, this method, always a unique trend line is obtained. Second advantage is what? The trend values can be obtained for all the given time periods in the series, and it will always be unique. Talking about the disadvantage, so great cares should be exercised in selecting the type of trend curve. That is, should we make the linear trend line, parabolic, or some other trend? If we are careless in this respect, then it may lead in the wrong forecasting or wrong prediction. Moreover, this method is tedious and time-taking. If we want to fit a quadratic equation, it will having much calculation and will take much time. Prediction based on only long-term variation, that is, the trend and impact of cylindrical, seasonal, irregular variation is ignored. Now, if you did not know what is cylindrical, seasonal, and irregular variation, move to with the previous class, you can understand what are these things. That is, if we are following this method, then these 3 or 4 factors are ignored in the long term. So these are 3 to 4 disadvantages for this. I hope you understand it. So let me summarize the overall thing for the today's class. Like today, what we have discussed that what is trend line and how to find it by using the method of least square. Talked about its advantage, disadvantage, as well as how to find a straight line, a quadratic line for a given data and what exactly it means. So I hope you understand it. I have given some of the examples also at last. For more practice, try to solve that. Now, thank you very much.